You know that feeling when someone's watching you? Not the paranoid kind. The real kind. When the hairs on your neck stand up and your lizard brain starts screaming? Yeah. That's where I was. Third night on the graveyard shift at a 24-hour megastore. Midnight to 8. Just me, a custodian somewhere in the back, and the hum of fluorescent lights that sound like dying insects. And him. He showed up about 20 minutes in. Hadn't bought anything. Hadn't even touched anything. Just walked. Slowly. Aisle to aisle. Always keeping me in his peripheral vision. I tried the customer service voice. Can I help you find something, sir? Nothing. Just that empty stare. Then he turned and drifted toward housewares. I told myself it was fine. We get weird people. This is a 24-hour store. Weird comes with the territory. But then I realized. I'd seen him before. Last week. Different jacket, same face. Same hollow eyes. And maybe the week before that, too. I couldn't be sure, I was always half asleep, but the pattern was there. I walked back toward my register. My footsteps echoed on the linoleum. And then I stopped. He was in the snack aisle. He hadn't been there a second ago. He shouldn't have been able to move that fast. He tilted his head. Studying me. Like I was something in a jar. I pulled out my phone. No signal. Of course. There's always signal. I was texting 10 minutes ago. Excuse me? I spun around. A woman stood there. Late 30s. Professional. Concerned. She had a purse and car keys clutched in her hand. I'm so sorry to bother you, she said, stepping closer, lowering her voice, but that man. The one in the jacket? I saw him following you. Circling. I work in crisis intervention, and I've seen this before. This is stalking behavior. Relief washed over me. I wasn't crazy. Someone else saw it. I thought maybe I was just being paranoid, I said. You're not, she said, glancing around. Where is he now? I looked. The aisle was empty. He was just, right there. Listen to me, she said, urgency sharpening her voice. Do you have a manager here? Security? Just me and the custodian. He's probably in the back. Then you need to leave the floor. Right now. That man, I saw him outside earlier, sitting in a van. He watched you through the windows for almost an hour before he came in. My stomach dropped. The fear crystallized. Became real. Should I call the police? I asked. Yes, but not from here. These guys can get aggressive when cornered. There's a service exit near the employee break room, right? I used to work retail. Go out that way, call from your car. How do you know about the service exit? I told you. I worked retail. Come on. I'll walk with you. Safety in numbers. Something felt off. But she was right about the man. He was watching me. And I was alone. Every horror movie warns you about this exact moment. But this was real life. This woman was trying to help me. Right? Okay, I said. The break room's in the back. We started walking. She stayed slightly ahead, guiding me. What's your name? She asked. Jordan. I'm Sarah. You're going to be fine, Jordan. Just stay close to me. We passed the pharmacy aisle. The lights flickered. They'd never flickered before. Not once in 3 weeks. Just the electrical, she said without looking back. Old building. Keep moving. I stopped. Wait. How did you know this building is old? It was renovated 2 years ago. Looks brand new. Lucky guess. Come on. And you said you used to work retail. Where? Her pace didn't change, but her voice did. Impatient now. Does it matter? That man could be anywhere. We need to move. My mouth went dry. Something was wrong. Something was very wrong. Actually, I think I should just call the police from the register. There's a landline. She turned sharply. No. The exit. Now. Her voice had changed. Harder. The concerned mask was slipping. I started backing away. I think I'll be okay up front. She was blocking my path back. And that's when it hit me. She'd been hurting me this whole time. Away from the registers. Away from the cameras. Toward the back of the store. He's waiting for you up front, she said. You go that way, you walk right into him. Who's waiting? The man in the jacket? She smiled. It wasn't warm. It was cold. Calculated. Such a smart question. See, this is why we chose you. We. My blood turned to ice. What did you just say? Movement behind her. The man emerged from the seasonal aisle. He'd been behind us the whole time. We'd walked right past him. Oh God. They were working together. You were supposed to go with her, Jordan, he said. His voice was flat. Dead. How do you know my name? The woman sighed, like I was a disappointing child. Your name tag, obviously. And your social media. And your personnel file that someone left so conveniently open in the manager's office. I backed away from both of them. What do you want? The exit, she said. Like I said. There's a vehicle waiting. You're going to come quietly, or this gets messy. Your choice. They'd planned this. The man to scare me. The woman to save me. Lead me right to them. How long had they been watching? How much did they know? The man reached into his jacket. I didn't wait to see what he was pulling out. Carlos. I screamed. Carlos, help. I ran. Not toward the front where they expected, but sideways, crashing through the toy aisle. Behind me, the woman's voice, Jordan. Don't be stupid. I vaulted over a display of stuffed animals. Something crashed behind me, the man, pursuing. His footsteps were heavy. Getting closer. The warehouse. Carlos was in the warehouse. There was a loading dock. Doors to the outside. I just had to. I burst through the double doors into the warehouse. Massive. Shadows everywhere. Boxes stacked to the ceiling. Carlos. My voice echoed. No response. Where was he? He was always here. He was always. The double doors crashed open. The woman and man entered, spreading out. There's nowhere to go, Jordan, she called out. Both exits are blocked. I spotted the loading dock door. You're lying. I sprinted for it. Hit the button. The metal door began to rise with agonizing slowness. 2 feet. 3 feet. Behind me, running footsteps. The man was fast. Too fast. 4 feet. 5 feet. I dropped and rolled under it. Cold air. Parking lot lights. I was up and running before I could think. My car was around front. I just needed to. This isn't over, Jordan, the man shouted from the dock. I didn't look back. I ran along the side of the building. My keys were in my pocket. Thank God. I rounded the corner. The parking lot. Empty except for my car and a white van. Side door open. Waiting. Exactly where the woman said he'd been watching from. I fumbled with my keys, got in, locked the doors, started the engine. My hands were shaking so hard I could barely hold the wheel. In the rearview mirror, they emerged from the building. They didn't run. They just watched. The woman waved. Slowly. Deliberately. Like this was a game and we'd see each other again soon. I peeled out of the parking lot. I was hyperventilating. I'm calling 911. I'm going straight to the police station. I'm never going back to that store. My phone buzzed. A text from an unknown number. I shouldn't have looked. I know I shouldn't have. But I did. You did great tonight, Jordan. See you at home. My address was attached. A photo of my apartment building. And another photo. My apartment door. Taken from the inside. They knew where I lived. They'd been inside. How long? How long had they been planning this? And what the woman said. Why we chose you. Chose me for what? Another text. Tell the police. Don't tell the police. It doesn't matter. We'll be seeing you soon. Sweet dreams, Jordan. We'll be watching. I dropped the phone like it was burning. I couldn't go home. I couldn't go to the police. What if they were watching the station too? What if they followed me? What if? In the rearview mirror, headlights. A white van. Following at a distance. Not rushing. Just following. Because they didn't need to rush. They knew exactly where I was going. They always had. And the worst part? I just realized something. The woman never asked my name. I told her. But the man, he knew it before that. Before I said anything. They knew. They've always known. The headlights behind me maintained their distance. Patient. My phone buzzed again. I didn't want to look. I had to look. We've been watching you for so long, Jordan. Tonight was just a test. You passed. We'll be in touch about the next part. Sleep well. I'm still driving. I don't know where I'm going. Behind me, the van follows. Always following. Always watching. If you're working night shift somewhere, anywhere, alone, check the aisles. Check who's helping you. And whatever you do, don't let them learn your name. The phone call started at 11:47 p.m. By midnight, I understood why the last 3 employees quit without giving notice. And by 12:03, I was running for my life across an empty highway with no help for 30 miles in any direction. I worked the closing shift at a gas station on Highway 54. If you've driven through, you know the one. Only station for 30 miles in either direction. Nothing around it but desert, scrub brush, and darkness that goes on forever. The job pays $2 above minimum wage because nobody wants to work it. Now I know why. My shift is from 3 p.m. to midnight. The first 8 hours are normal. Truckers. Road trippers. The occasional local buying cigarettes or beer. But after 11, the highway goes quiet. Dead quiet. Tonight, I was alone by 11:30. I'd already started closing procedures. Sweeping the aisles. Restocking the cooler. Counting the register. The fluorescent lights overhead buzzed. They always do. White noise you stop noticing after the first week. I was behind the counter, filling out the cash report, when the phone rang. The landline. The one customers never call because nobody knows the number. I picked up. Thank you for calling Stop and Go, this is Jordan speaking. Silence. Then, breathing. Not heavy. Just there. I waited 5 seconds and hung up. Wrong number. Prank call. Whatever. I went back to counting 20s. The phone rang again. I stared at it. Let it ring 3 times. 4. Then picked up. Stop and Go. A voice. Male. Trying too hard to sound scary. Like a teenager doing a bad horror movie impression. I can see you. I looked at the windows. Nothing but darkness and the glow of the gas pumps outside. "Congratulations," I said. "The store has windows." I hung up. My hand was steady. My heartbeat wasn't. Because the thing is, there are no streetlights out here. No other buildings. No cars in the lot. If someone was watching me, they were standing in the dark. I locked the front door. We're technically open until midnight, but screw policy. I wasn't taking chances. I moved to the back room to grab the mop. The phone rang again. I stopped walking. From the back room, I could hear it. Shrill. Insistent. I walked back to the counter. Picked it up. "Listen, I'm calling the cops if you just locked the front door." My stomach dropped. "And now you're standing behind the counter. Blue shirt. Name tag. You're holding the phone in your left hand." I looked down. He was right. I'd switched hands without thinking. "Your car is parked around back. Silver Honda. License plate 4-7-7JKM. That was my license plate. "Who is this?" The voice laughed. Not natural. Performative. Like he was enjoying a script he'd written. "You're looking at the windows now. Trying to see me. But you can't. Because I'm not where you're looking." I scanned the darkness. The pumps. The empty highway. Nothing moved. "What do you want?" "I want you to understand something, Jordan. You're alone out here. Really alone. And I've been watching you for a long time." The line went dead. I set the phone down. My hands were shaking now. I pulled out my cell. No signal. There never is out here. The landline is the only connection to the outside world. I walked to the window. Pressed my face against the glass. Cupped my hands to block the interior light. Nothing. Just the pumps. The highway. The desert. But he was right. He'd described exactly what I was doing. Which meant he could see me. But from where? The security cameras. I pulled up the feed on the monitor behind the counter. 4 cameras. Front lot. Back lot. Interior. Cooler. I scanned each one. Empty. All of them. Then I saw it. On the back lot camera, there's a blind spot. Behind the dumpster. The angle doesn't quite reach. Someone could stand there and see directly into the store through the back window. And I wouldn't see them. I stared at the monitor. At that dark space the camera couldn't reach. The phone rang. I didn't want to pick up. Every instinct screamed not to. I picked up. "You found the blind spot." His voice was closer now. Clearer. Like he was standing right outside. "Good. You're smarter than the last one." "The last one?" "The girl before you. She didn't figure it out until I was already inside." I looked at the locked door. Still locked. "You're lying." "Am I?" "Check the back door, Jordan." The back door. The employee entrance. I'd unlocked it when I arrived at 3 p.m. I never locked it again. My heart stopped. I moved toward the back hallway. Slowly. The phone still pressed to my ear. "That's right. Keep walking. It's just around the corner." I reached the hallway. The back door was 15 feet away. It was open. Not wide. Just a crack. Enough to let the night air in. "I could be inside right now," the voice said. "In the storage room. In the bathroom. Behind you." I spun around. Nothing. But I'm not. Not yet. I want you to know I'm coming first. I want you to feel it. I slammed the back door shut. Locked it. Checked it twice. There. Now you're safe. For a few minutes. The line went dead again. I stood there, back against the door, breathing hard. 11:51. 9 minutes until midnight. Until my shift ends. Until I could leave. I went back to the counter. Kept my eyes on the monitor. On that blind spot. Still nothing. The front door rattled. I looked up. A man stood outside. Ordinary looking. Flannel shirt. Jeans. Baseball cap. He knocked on the glass. Pointed at the open sign. I shook my head. Pointed at my watch. Closed. He knocked again. Harder. I walked closer. We're closed. Come back tomorrow. He smiled. Not friendly. Wrong. Just need to use the restroom, he called through the glass. Sorry. Closed. Come on. I've been driving for hours. There was something off about him. The way he stood. Too still. Like he was holding himself back. There's another station 30 miles east. His smile didn't move. That's a long way. I can't help you. He stared at me. 5 seconds. 10. Then he nodded. Turned. I walked toward the side of the building. Toward the back. I ran to the monitor. Watched him appear on the back lot camera. He walked slowly. Deliberately. Toward the dumpster. Toward the blind spot. And then he stepped into it. And disappeared. I couldn't see him anymore. But I knew he was there. The phone rang. I grabbed it. Did you like my friend? That was you? No. That was him. I'm still out here. But now there's 2 of us. What do you want? I told you. I want you to feel it. The fear. The helplessness. We've been planning this for weeks, Jordan. Watching your schedule. Learning your routine. Tonight's the night. I'm calling the police. With what? Your cell doesn't work. And if you use the landline, you'll have to hang up on me. And the second you do, we're coming in. My throat was dry. Why me? Because you're alone. Because you're easy. Because we can. I looked at the clock. 11:57. 3 minutes. My replacement is coming at midnight. The voice laughed. Real laughter this time. No, they're not. We called the owner 2 hours ago. Said you'd volunteered to lock up alone tonight. He was thrilled. Saved him the overtime. No. No, no, no. You're lying. Am I? Wait 3 minutes. See if anyone shows up. The line went dead. I dropped the phone. I had to leave. Now. I grabbed my keys. My bag. Checked the monitor one last time. The man was still in the blind spot. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was there. The front lot was empty. If I ran to my car, I'd have to go through the back door. Past the blind spot. But if I went out the front, I'd be in the open. Visible. Either way, they'd see me. I chose the front. I unlocked the door. Pushed it open. Cold air hit my face. The parking lot stretched out. There's another station 30 miles east. His smile didn't move. That's a long way. I can't help you. He stared at me. 5 seconds. 10. Then he nodded. Turned. I walked toward the side of the building. Toward the back. I ran to the monitor. Watched him appear on the back lot camera. He walked slowly. Deliberately. Toward the dumpster. Toward the blind spot. And then he stepped into it. And disappeared. I couldn't see him anymore. But I knew he was there. The phone rang. I grabbed it. Did you like my friend? That was you? No. That was him. I'm still out here. But now there's 2 of us. What do you want? I told you. I want you to feel it. The fear. The helplessness. We've been planning this for weeks, Jordan. Watching your schedule. Learning your routine. Tonight's the night. I'm calling the police. With what? Your cell doesn't work. And if you use the landline, you'll have to hang up on me. And the second you do, we're coming in. My throat was dry. Why me? Because you're alone. Because you're easy. Because we can. I looked at the clock. 11:57. 3 minutes. My replacement is coming at midnight. The voice laughed. Real laughter this time. No, they're not. We called the owner 2 hours ago. Said you'd volunteered to lock up alone tonight. He was thrilled. Saved him the overtime. No. No, no, no. You're lying. Am I? Wait 3 minutes. See if anyone shows up. The line went dead. I dropped the phone. I had to leave. Now. I grabbed my keys. My bag. Checked the monitor one last time. The man was still in the blind spot. I couldn't see him, but I knew he was there. The front lot was empty. If I ran to my car, I'd have to go through the back door. Past the blind spot. But if I went out the front, I'd be in the open. Visible. Either way, they'd see me. I chose the front. I unlocked the door. Pushed it open. Cold air hit my face. The parking lot stretched out. The red hoodie. The man in the red hoodie seemed desperate. His car had broken down. He just needed help. Just 5 minutes. I almost opened the door. If I had, the police say I wouldn't have made it back inside. I work the graveyard shift at a 24-hour convenience store on Route 9. It's one of those places with bulletproof glass separating the clerk from the customers after midnight. Everything goes through a metal drawer. Money in, products out. The glass went up after an incident 5 years ago. Nobody talks about what happened, but the night manager keeps a baseball bat behind the counter and the panic button is within arm's reach at all times. My shift runs 11 p.m. to 7 a.m. The first few hours are steady. Night workers grabbing coffee. People getting off second shift. The occasional drunk buying cigarettes. But after 2 a.m., it changes. The traffic stops. The lights seem dimmer. The parking lot becomes an empty ocean of cracked asphalt under flickering street lights. That's when you get the other kind of customer. The kind who make you grateful for the bulletproof glass. Tonight started normal. A trucker at midnight. 2 teenagers buying energy drinks at 1 a.m. A woman who paid for gas and quarters at 1:30. Then nothing. I spent the next hour restocking shelves, watching security monitors, and trying not to fall asleep. 4 cameras. Front lot. Side lot. Interior. Back lot. I cycle through them every few minutes. Habit. At 2:47 a.m., all four showed the same thing. Empty. I was filling out the inventory sheet when I heard it. Tap tap tap. On the glass. I looked up. A man stood at the window. Mid-20s. Red hoodie. Unshaven. Eyes red-rimmed like he'd been crying or hadn't slept in days. "Please," he said, voice muffled through the glass. "I need help." I'd heard variations of this before. "I need help" means I need money. Or "I need you to open this door." Neither was happening. "Store policy," I said, keeping my voice level. "I can't open the door after midnight. If you need something, we can do it through the drawer." "No, you don't understand. My car broke down. It's just out of sight, past the tree line. My phone's dead. I need to call a tow truck." He was breathing hard. Panicked. His hands pressed against the glass. "There's a payphone outside," I said, pointing. "Takes cards and coins. It's broken. I already tried. Please, man, I just need to use your phone for 2 minutes. That's it. I can't let you in." His face crumpled. Desperation. Fear. Real emotion. "My girlfriend's in the car. She's sick. Really sick. We were driving to the hospital and the engine just died. I've been walking for 20 minutes trying to find help and you're the only place that's open." I hesitated. That detail. The girlfriend. The specificity. Liars keep it vague. This felt real. "If your girlfriend's sick, I can call 911 for you," I offered. "No, we don't have insurance. We just need a tow truck. Please." He looked over his shoulder. Back toward the darkness beyond the lot. "Please," he said again. "I'm begging you." I looked at him. Really looked. Dirty hoodie. Worn sneakers. Hands shaking. He didn't look dangerous. He looked scared. And I started to feel like a bad person. Like I was the one doing something wrong by staying behind the glass. "Hold on," I said. I pulled up the security monitors. Cycled through the cameras. Front lot. Empty except for his figure at the window. Side lot. Empty. Interior. Just me. Back lot. Empty. Wait. I went back to the side lot camera. There. Just barely visible at the edge of the frame. Past the dumpster, near the tree line. A car. Dark colored. Sedan. Hazard lights blinking weakly. He was telling the truth. My stomach twisted with guilt. This guy really was stranded. His girlfriend really was waiting in a broken-down car. And I was treating him like a criminal because of the time of night. "Okay," I said. "I see your car on the camera. Give me a second." Relief flooded his face. "Thank you. Thank you so much." I picked up the phone. Started to dial the non-emergency line for a tow recommendation. Then I looked at the monitor again. The side lot camera. The car was there. Hazard lights still blinking. But something was wrong. I leaned closer to the screen. There was movement. Behind the car. Low to the ground. A shape. Someone crouching. My hand stopped dialing. I zoomed in using the camera controls. The image was grainy, black and white, but I could see it clearly now. A second person. Crouched behind the rear bumper of the car. Wearing dark clothes. Waiting. My mouth went dry. I looked up at the man in the red hoodie. He was still at the window. Still looking desperate. But now I noticed something else. His eyes weren't on me. They were on the door. Specifically, the lock. "You almost done?" he called. "My girlfriend's really not doing well." I looked back at the monitor. The crouching figure hadn't moved. Still hidden. Still waiting. For what? For me to open the door. I set the phone down. Slowly. Carefully. "Actually," I said, keeping my voice steady, "I'm going to call 911 instead. If your girlfriend's that sick, she needs an ambulance, not a tow truck." His expression changed. Not slowly. Instantly. The desperation vanished. The fear disappeared. What replaced it was cold. Calculating. "That's not necessary," he said. His voice was different now. Flatter. "I think it is. I'm asking you not to call 911. It wasn't a request. It was a warning." "I'm calling them anyway," I said. His jaw tightened. He glanced over his shoulder. Not panicked. Checking. Then he looked back at me. His hand moved to his hoodie pocket. That's when I hit the panic button. The alarm was instant. Deafening. A shrieking wail that filled the store and echoed across the parking lot. Red lights began flashing outside. Inside. Strobing the entire area. The man's face twisted with rage. "You stupid." He didn't finish. Because on the monitor, I saw the crouching figure stand up. A second man. Taller. Holding something in his hand. He started moving toward the store. Fast. The man in the red hoodie saw my expression. Realized I could see his partner. The game was over. He slammed his fist against the glass. Once. Twice. It didn't crack. "You're making a mistake," he shouted over the alarm. But he was already backing away. Looking around. Calculating his escape. The second man reached the front of the store. Looked at the flashing lights. Looked at the security cameras. They made eye contact. Some kind of silent communication. Then they ran. Both of them. Sprinting across the parking lot. Not toward the car. Away from it. Into the darkness beyond the tree line. I watched them disappear on the monitor. My hands were shaking. My heart was pounding so hard I could hear it over the alarm. I grabbed the phone. Dialed 911. 911, what's your emergency?" "Two men just tried to get me to open the door at the Route 9 Speedy Mart. They ran into the woods behind the store. I think they were trying to rob me." "Are you safe right now?" "Yes. I'm locked inside." "They're gone." "Stay on the line. Units are already en route. We got the panic alarm." I stayed on the phone. Watched the monitors. Neither man reappeared. The police arrived 4 minutes later. 3 cars. Lights flashing. They secured the perimeter first. Then 2 officers approached the door. I unlocked it. "Let them in." "You hit the panic button?" "Yes, sir." 2 men. One was at the window asking for help. Said his car broke down. But I saw a second person hiding on the security camera. "Where's the car?" I showed them the monitor. The sedan was still there. Hazard lights still blinking. They went to check it. I watched on the camera as they approached. 1 officer on each side. Flashlights out. The driver's side door was unlocked. 1 officer opened it. Even on the grainy camera, I could see him recoil. He said something into his radio. "Urgent." The other officer moved to the trunk. Popped it open. He stepped back quickly. Both officers drew their weapons. They shouted something toward the car. Waited. Slowly, a third figure emerged from the back seat. Hands up. Moving carefully. A third person. Someone I never saw on the camera. Someone who'd been hiding inside the whole time. My legs went weak. The officers cuffed all three. Walked them back toward the police cars. As they passed under the streetlight, I got a clear look. The man in the red hoodie. The second man in dark clothes. And the third. A woman. Young. Blonde. Terrified expression. Not a girlfriend who needed help. An accomplice. One of the officers came back inside 20 minutes later. You okay? Yeah. What was that? He exhaled. Shook his head. The car was reported stolen 3 hours ago from a gas station 40 miles from here. We're still piecing it together, but from what we can tell, they've been running this scam up and down Route 9 for the past 2 weeks. What scam? Guy in the red hoodie plays the desperate stranger. Convinces the clerk to open the door to help him. The second guy rushes in from the blind spot. Third person was probably there to move the car fast if things went wrong. They've hit 4 stores so far. Hit them? You mean robbed? The officer's expression darkened. 2 robberies. 2 assaults. 1 clerk is still in the hospital. You're lucky you saw that second guy on the camera. I felt sick. What would have happened if I opened the door? Based on what the other victims said? Best case, they'd have emptied the register and locked you in the back. Worst case. He didn't finish. Didn't need to. The woman, I said. She looked scared. She was probably supposed to play the sick girlfriend if you came outside. Make it seem more real. We'll know more after we question them. He handed me a card. You did everything right. Stayed calm. Trusted your instinct. That panic button saved your life tonight. The police stayed another hour. Took my statement. Reviewed the security footage. Photographed the scene. By the time they left, it was 5:30 a.m. The sky was starting to lighten. I should have been relieved. Safe. But all I could think about was how close I'd come. One more second of guilt. One more moment of feeling like I was being heartless. And I would have opened that door. I would have let them in. And whatever happened after that, I don't want to imagine. The man in the red hoodie knew exactly what he was doing. The desperation. The girlfriend detail. The trembling hands. All of it was performance. Practiced. Refined. How many times had he done it before? How many people had fallen for it? And how many hadn't been as lucky as me? I finished my shift. Locked up at 7 a.m. Walked to my car in full daylight. I kept looking over my shoulder. Checking the tree line. Expecting to see someone watching. No one was there. But I couldn't shake the feeling that they'd been watching long before they approached the window. Planning. Waiting for the right moment. The right victim. I quit 2 weeks later. Found a day shift at a different store. Better pay. No bulletproof glass necessary. But sometimes, late at night, I still think about it. About the man in the red hoodie. About how convincing he was. About how easy it would have been to believe him. And I think about everyone else working overnight shifts. Alone. Behind glass or not. How many of them have heard the same story? The broken down car. The sick girlfriend. The desperate plea for help. And how many of them opened the door? If you work night shift alone, remember this. Desperation can be faked. Tears can be manufactured. Details can be rehearsed. And the person asking for help might not be alone. Trust your cameras. Trust your instincts. Trust the policies that seem harsh. They exist for a reason. Because the cost of being wrong isn't just money. Stay behind the glass. Hit the panic button. And never, ever open that door.